Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch. You know, a couple weeks ago here on the show, we had a guest talking about weight loss and how we should actually focus on what is best for us as individuals instead of that, one size fits all approach. Christina HRONEC, she wrote a book, Unlock Your Macro Type, which can help you identify your true body type. Also helps you understand your carb tolerance and your accelerated fat loss. Christine, she joins us again, and she's going to help me figure out my personalized macro type. Thank you so much for coming back on the show, Christine, and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's recap before we jump into this a little bit about the macro type. Maybe some folks might not have seen that. Why is it so important and what is it?
Your macro type helps you determine the best way to fuel your unique body.
Okay.
Some people do best being fat fueled, others protein fueled, others carb fueled.
All righty. And how can I figure out, you have to help me here, how do I figure out what my personal macro type is?
Well, I could take you through the quiz. There is a carb tolerance quiz as well as an individual macro type quiz where I would ask you more in-depth questions about your specific health history, as well as how your body responds to various foods under certain situations.
Okay. And I would imagine those situations could be anything from stress to what maybe that you're after you work out. What are those situations?
Yes, so stress is definitely one of them, but related to, for instance, if you consume a carbohydrate, how long after you consume a carbohydrate are you hungry again?
Oh, okay.
Some folks, once they eat a carb, it just turns on a hunger switch that literally never turns back off. Other folks are fine after 1 to 2 hours. Some people are fine for 3 to 4 hours. Some people literally forget to eat. I am not one of those people, but there are people like that who they could just go on and on and on. So that's one example. Another example would be things like, how does your body respond and what types of things do you naturally crave
Okay.
Throughout the day? What types of things would keep you full and satisfied? Metabolism, genetics, family history, that type of stuff.
You know, without taking the test and hearing you talking, I had this craving for bread for some reason. And it's like, I know I shouldn't, so then I make a sandwich, and the concept of not even having bread with a sandwich, it blows my mind. So it seems like you're kind of describing me. So let's put us down on that just hypothetically. What foods should I be eating or maybe not eating? And in between that, can I have cheat days where I get a sandwich?
When we say cheat day, I encourage people to focus on making something a healthy lifestyle.
Okay.
And I think that, having calorically rich meals can definitely be balanced within a week of healthy eating, but I don't really like looking at it in a black and white perspective.
That makes sense.
My approach to my clients is I tell people how to make these things work within their macronutrient goals for the day and to have a more flexible approach to it.
I like that. Yeah, day by day instead of, I totally understand and appreciate that. Let's talk about me, though. I mean, is it my DNA or my genetics that actually decides what I am and what my activity level might be?
So it's going to be a combination of both. So the first question I would have for you is, have you ever been diagnosed with prediabetes, diabetes, a thyroid issue, or any hormone imbalances?
I've not, but my mother has and my sister had thyroid problems.
Okay, so thyroid issues do tend to be slightly on the lower carb tolerance range, but since it's in your genetics, it's not you specifically, that's not going to rank your score as low as it would. But the thing is, it sounds like from what you're describing to me that you probably have a moderate carb tolerance. And what I would put most people at when they're starting out, I will push the threshold to put you at the highest carb level that you can functionally tolerate. I don't put anybody very low carb unless their body requires it.
That makes sense.
And I think that it's really important that we look at things that way, because that's going to be sustainable in the long term.
Right.
If you just go on a diet, cut your carbs, 1 gram of carbohydrates finds 3 grams of water, that's going to have you losing a lot of water weight. You think you're dropping fat, but it's really just water. And at the end of the day, you're not going to sustain that. So we need to function on positive metabolic function, keeping your body full and satisfied, keeping a more balanced overall outlook, and being mindful of refined and processed foods and empty calories.
All right, Christine, thank you so much. Go to gagelife.com. You can get that book. It sounds intriguing. We thank you so much for coming back on the show again. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.